Very good morning to all of you. This is mathematics class of grade 8 and this is my lecture number 1 of chapter number 14, factorization. Dear children, you must have learnt in your previous classes that composite numbers can be expressed as the product of prime numbers. Now, in this chapter number 14, that is factorization, we shall learn how to factorize algebraic expressions and we shall learn different methods of finding the factors of an algebraic expressions. So, in this lecture number 1, we shall get to know or we shall be recalling few concepts like what are factors. We will come to know the definition of factorization or what is factorization, and we will come to know different methods of factorization like method of common factors and factorization by grouping terms. Basically, in this factorization chapter, we shall learn 4 methods of factorization, but here in this lecture number 1, I shall be discussing only 2 methods, that is method of common factors and how to factorize using grouping or regrouping the terms. So we will be learning these 2 methods of factorization and we will get to know we will recall first of all what are factors and get to know what is the meaning of factorization or what is the definition of factorization, how to factorize algebraic expressions. Let us see the introduction part of this chapter number 14, factorization. Dear children, in your previous classes, you have learnt that composite numbers can be expressed as the product of prime numbers. For example, if I am taking a number 42, a composite number 42, so what are the factors of 42? It will be 2 into 3 into 7. That is the prime factorization of this 42 is 2 into 3 into 7. Here 2, 3 and 7, that is 2, 3 and 7 are prime factors of 42. It is quite clear to you. I think it is clear to you that composite numbers can be expressed as the product of prime numbers. I have taken one example, that is 42. It can be expressed as 2 into 3 into 7. So we will say that 2, 3 and 7 are the prime factors of 42. Similarly, algebraic expressions can also be expressed as the product of irreducible factors. Now, I have taken an example of 42. It can be another examples also. We can take another examples also, like if I take the example of 30. How can you write 30 in terms of prime factor form? 30 can be written as 2 into 3 into 5. That is the prime factor form of 30. Likewise, we can express numbers in prime factor form. Now, as I told you that algebraic expressions can also be expressed as the product of irreducible factors. What do you mean by this irreducible factors? Irreducible factors means a factor which cannot be expressed further as a product of factors. Irreducible means a factor which cannot be expressed further as a product of factors. In algebraic expression, we use the word irreducible in place of prime, as we know that we cannot further factorize prime numbers. As the name indicates, those are prime numbers, so we cannot write their factors further. Similarly, in algebraic expressions, we use the word irreducible in place of prime. So irreducible factors means a factor which cannot be expressed further as a product of factors. And terms of an algebraic expression are formed as the product of factors. So whatsoever, as you all know that you have already studied in algebraic expression chapter, we need to deal with different terms. So terms of an algebraic expression are formed as the product of factors. They are nothing but they are formed. How are they formed? As the product of factors. So terms of algebraic expressions are formed as the product of factors. For example, in the algebraic expression f 5xy plus 3x And if I talk about the term 5xy, 5xy has been formed by the factors 5x and y. I am talking about one term, as I told you that terms of an algebraic expressions are expressed as the product of factors. So it will be 5xy has been formed by the factors 5x and y. That is 5xi can be written as 5 into x into y. So I think this point is clear to you that 5xi 5xy has been formed by the factors 5 into x into y. Likewise, if I will be taking more examples, and if I talk about 3x term, it can be expressed, it has been formed by the factors 3 into x. And if I talk about this expression, that is 3x bracket x minus 2, it can be written as the product of factors 3x and x plus 2. That is 3 into x plus 2. Now the factors 3x and x plus 2 are irreducible factors of 3x bracket x plus 2. I think this point is clear to you now. I am explaining this example again. If you consider this expression 3x bracket x plus 2, simply what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to express the algebraic expressions as the product of factors. So it will be, its factors will be 3 into x plus 2. So 3x and x plus 2 are irreducible factors of 3x into x plus 2. So as I told you that irreducible in algebraic expressions, we use the word irreducible in place of prime. And similarly, I am taking just 2-3 examples so that it will be clear to you what are the factors of algebraic expressions. Later on, we will move to what do you mean by factors, what do you mean by factorization, and then we will be understanding them with the help of more examples. So I am taking another expression, that is 2x bracket x plus 2 bracket, this is not 9y plus 3, it is only y plus 3, is expressed in its irreducible factor form as I told you, 10 can be written as 2 into 5 into x plus 2 into y plus 3. So the expression 10x into x plus 2 bracket y plus 3 can be expressed in its irreducible factor form as 10 can be written as 2 into 5 into x plus 2 into y plus 3. So this is the irreducible factor form of the given expression. Now the product of 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7. If I need to find the product of these two, and I hope you all know how to find the product of two terms, or two expressions, rather I should say two expressions. Here if you will observe this 2x plus 7 into 2x minus 7, this is basically identity number 3, that is a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. A here is 2x, b here is 7. You can either use the identity and you will be getting 4x square minus 49, or you can multiply this 2x by every term that is present inside the bracket 2x minus 7, that is distributive law also you can use to get to know the product. So we can say that 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7 are the factors of 4x square minus 49, and we write it as, so after multiplication of these two factors or these two expressions, we are getting 4x square minus 49. So we will be saying, or we say that 2x plus 7 and bracket 2x minus 7, or the product of these two will give you 4x square minus 49, or 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7. These are the factors of 4x square minus 49. First of all, you should understand what do you mean by factor, and then we will be moving to how to find the factors of an algebraic expression. Basically, I think you got an idea that a given expression is or can be expressed as the product of the terms or whatsoever is the present in the uh, given question. So let us move to the definition now of factor now. What do you mean by factor or factors? When an expression can be written as the product of two or more expressions, then each of these expressions is called a factor of the given expression. Likewise, I gave you the example of 5xy. So in that 5x and y are the factors or irreducible factors of 5xy. Likewise, I gave you the example that 3x into x plus 2. So, what are the factors of this expression? 3x into x plus 2. 3x and x plus 2 are the irreducible factors of 3x bracket x plus 2. And irreducible here means we are using irreducible in place of prime so that you can relate or you can understand it properly. So, when an expression can be written as the product of two or more expressions, then each of these expressions is called a factor of the given expression. So finding two or more expressions whose product is the given expression is called factorization. And what do you mean by factorization? Factorization means it is basically the reverse process of multiplication, and we can say in layman's language or in common language that finding two or more expressions whose product is the given expression is called factorization. Like in the previous example, I have shown you that 4x square minus 49 can be written as 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7, that is the product of 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7. So we have seen that 4x square minus 49 is basically the product of 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7. So 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7 are the factors of 4x square minus 49, and finding two or more expressions whose product is the given expression is called factorization, and this is the process of factorization. And we can say that factorization is basically the reverse process of multiplication. So let us understand this with the help of two examples. Here what I have done, these two are the factors and I have taken their product first. This is the product. Now here on this side you will observe that this can be written as 5xy into 5xy minus 7. So these two are the factors. This is basically the product and these two are the factors. This is the product, and if I will see that this side is your factors. So these are the factors. 4a plus 5b and 4a minus 5b are the factors of 16a square minus 25b square. Likewise, 7xy bracket 5xy minus 3 are the factors of 35x square y square minus 21xy. I hope you have understood what are factors and what is factorization. What do you mean by factorization? The process of finding two or more expressions whose product is the given expression is called factorization, or finding the factors of algebraic expression is called factorization. It is the reverse process of multiplication. Now let us move to first method of finding factors of algebraic expression, that is factorizing by taking out common factors. How to find out or how to factorize an algebraic expression, and this is the method number 1, where you are supposed to take out the common factors from the algebraic expression. So I am explaining it with the help of an example. Two examples I will be taking. So if you need to factorize 2x plus 4, so how will you be doing? Here, what you will be doing, here it will be 2x and here it will be 4. So the irreducible factor forms of 2x and 4 are respectively. First of all, I will be talking about individual terms, but when you will be doing practice, you will come to know, or no need to write these steps all together. Directly you need to solve the given question or the given algebraic expression. Directly you can find the factors, but initially you are supposed to understand this, how I am doing it. So First of all, I have taken the first term, that is 2x. 2x, what are the factors of 2x? That is 2 into x, we know. What are the factors of 4? 2 into 2. Now after that, you need to, as the method says, as the name of the method is method of common factors, we need to take out the common factors out of all the terms. So what is common in these two terms? 2 is common. So let us see how we will be writing. Factor 2 is common to both the terms. So 2x plus 4, 2 I have written outside because it was common in both the terms we have seen. What is left out of first term? X I have written inside the bracket. Plus sign was there in the question, plus sign. And what is left out of the second term? 2. So 2x plus 2 are the factors of 2x plus 4. So I am repeating it. What you are supposed to do? Take all the terms individually, find the factors of all the terms, and then take out the common factors of all the terms, and then you will be able to get the factors. So what I have done, 2x, irreducible factor form of 2x and 4 are respectively. 2x can be written as 2 into x. 4 can be written as 2 into 2. So what is common out of these two? 2. 2 I have written outside the bracket. Then what is left out of the first term? X. Plus was given to you in the question. What is left out of the second term? That is 2. So 2 bracket x plus 2 are the factors of 2x plus 4. Thus the expression 2x plus 4 is the same as 2 into x plus 2. Obviously, when you will be multiplying 2x, you will be getting 2 into x, 2x, plus 2 into 2, 4. So you will be getting the same 2x plus 4. So this expression is same as 2 into x plus 2. So that you can read off its factors as they are 2 and x plus 2, and these factors are irreducible, means they cannot be further written into factors. Let us take another example. We need to factorize 5xy plus 10x. The irreducible factor forms, as I told you, individually. Initially, you are supposed to take individual terms, but when you will be practicing, then you will be able to do it without doing all these steps. Directly you will be able to do. So, firstly, I am taking these two terms individually. So, what are the factors of 5xy and 10x? 5xy is equal to 5 into x into y. 10x is equal to 5 into 2 into x. So what I have done, first term is 5xy. I have written 5 into x into y. 10x can be written as 10 can be written 5 into 2. X will be written into x. Now what is common out of these two? This 5 is common and this x is common. So we will be writing as the two terms 5 and x are common factors. The two terms have 5 and x as common factors. So 5x I have written outside the bracket. What was left for this? If you will be taking 5x out of this common, what is left? Y is left, plus 5 into 2 will give you 10. So 2 was left inside the bracket. So 5x bracket y plus 2. These are the factors of 5x y plus 10x. Now coming to second method, that is factorizing by regrouping terms. As the name indicates, you need to regroup the terms. You need to factorize the algebraic expressions by regrouping the terms. Regrouping means you need to write them or make groups of certain terms with other terms. Regrouping basically means rearranging the expression that allows you to form groups so that you can factorize it easily. This is regrouping. So what is regrouping? Regrouping is basically rearranging the expression so that you can form groups and you can take something common so that, and then you will be able to get your answer. This is your regrouping, rearranging the expressions. So there are certain steps in this method. First of all, what you are supposed to do, arrange the terms of the given polynomial in groups such that each group has a common factor. You will be getting few terms. you need to arrange the terms in such a way that each group has a common factor. As we need to find the common factor, so you need to arrange the terms accordingly. Then what is the second step? You need to factorize each group. Then taking out the factor which is common to each group. First of all, what you are supposed to do? Arrange the terms in groups such that each group has a common factor. Then factorize each group individually. Then take out the factor which is common to both the groups, to each group. And another point to note in this is, factorization by grouping is only possible if the given polynomial contains an even number of terms. It can be 2 only, it can be 4, it can be 6, but if it will be 3, you will not be able to make the groups. Okay, so let us understand this with the help of an example. With the help, I will be taking 2 examples so that it will be clear to you. So first example I am taking is, factorize 6xy minus 4y plus 6 minus 9x. First of all, you need to check if there is a common factor among all terms. Is there any factor common among all terms? There is no factor which is common to all the terms. Now, then I need to think of grouping. And you must be looking that, as I told you, that factorization by grouping is only possible if it contains even number of terms. So, how many terms are there? 4 terms are there. This is your one term, this is your second term, this is your third term, and this is your 4 terms. So, even number of terms are there. So, I will be using regrouping method. Now, as I told you, there is no factor common among all terms. So, we will need to think of grouping. Now, out of these 2 terms, that is 6xy minus 4y, you can see that out of 6 and 4, you can take out common factor. Out of xy and y, you can take out y common. So, if I talk about these 2 terms, out of 6 and 9, you can take, what can you take common? 3 can be taken common. Otherwise, here no variable is present. This is a constant term. So, x will remain inside the bracket. So, let us see now. I am taking separate groups. So, firstly, I am writing 6xy minus 4y. So, out of 6 and 4, can you take 2 common? 2 is common. Xy and y, what is common? Y. So, 2y I have written outside. And what will be left? 2 into 3 will give you 6. So, 3x will be left inside the bracket minus 2. Or if initially you are facing problem in doing or finding the factors, then you can do the method which we have done in the, which I told you, that taking out the common factors. That was your first method. So, separately, you are supposed to do the factors of 6y and 4y and then 6 and then minus 9x. But that was a different method. So, in this method, basically, you need to make groups and then factorize. So, I am repeating it. Out of 6 and 4, you can take 2 common. X, y and y I have taken common. So, what is left inside the bracket? 3x minus 2. So, let us talk about another group now. This is your another group, that is 6 minus 9x. Can I take 3 common out of 6 and 9? Minus 9, so it will be 3. What will be left inside the bracket? 2 minus 3x. Now, another point to note here is that the factors which are present, factor which is present inside the bracket should be same. That is, if here it is 3x minus 2, here it should be also 3x minus 2. If it is 2 minus 3x, it means these two are not same. We need to make them same. So, what can I do? Here it is minus 2, here it is plus 2. There is a change of sign only. So, if I will be taking minus 3 outside, then I will be able to get the same factor. Like you can see, I have written in the next step also. Or you can rearrange this. It can be written as minus 9x plus 6. There is no difference. So, minus 3 I have written outside bracket 3x minus 2, so that this factor should be same in both the groups. So, what I have done now? This factor I have written, this grouping I have done. I have rearranged these 2 terms, so I have written accordingly. Now, as you have factorized it in the previous slide, what you have done? Out of 6 and 4, 2 you have taken, 6y and y you have taken out. What will be left inside the bracket? 3x minus 2 we have understood in the previous slide. Likewise, this also we have understood that minus 3 will be written out, and inside the bracket it will be 3x minus 2. So this factor is common to both. So it will be written outside one time, that is 3x minus 2, and what will be left? 2y minus 3. Initially, you can do the method or the way which I told you in the previous slide, but when you will be doing the practice for these questions, you are supposed to write these steps only. Make the group, rearrange the terms, and then take common, take the factorize each group, and then take out the factor which is common to each group, and then you will be able to get the final answer. So the factors of 6xy minus 4y plus 6 minus 9x are 3x minus 2 and 2y minus 3. So let us take another example. There in that case, grouping was already done. But it is not mandatory that every time you are supposed to make the group of first and second term, third and fourth term. It can be the grouping of first and third term. It can be the grouping of first and fourth term. It can be the grouping of second and fifth term. It can be the grouping of second and third term. So accordingly, you need to rearrange, as the method indicates, or the method name is regrouping of terms or grouping of terms or rearranging the terms. So accordingly, you need to rearrange the terms. So let us talk about this method, this part, sorry. If I talk about these two terms, can you find any factor common, or out of these? First of all, check the number of terms. This is the first step. How many terms are there? 4 terms, that is even number of terms. So we can use this method, that is grouping of terms or rearranging the terms. Now, out of all these 4 terms present, there is no factor common among all terms. So if I talk about these 2 terms, can you find anything common? No. If you talk about these 2 terms, is there any term common, any factor common? No. So I need to now rearrange the terms. So if I look at first term, that is xy and minus px, can I take x common out of these 2? Yes, definitely. So xy minus px I have written together, plus qy minus pq, or you can write minus pq plus qy. It is one and the same thing. Then what I have done, x is common, so x I have written outside. What is left? Y minus p, plus what is common out of these 2 terms? Q. And what will be left inside the bracket? Y minus p. Now you can see that y minus p is present here, y minus p is present here. These 2 factors are same, so it means our grouping is correct. If this is not same, then we need to take the minus sign common outside, as we have done in the previous case, or we need to change the grouping. So what will be the answer? Y minus p, that is written one time common, into x plus q. So the factors of xy minus pq plus qy minus px are these 2, that is y minus p into x plus q. So the factors of xy minus pq plus qy minus px are y minus p and q plus x plus q. So these 2 are the factors. So let us see the homework part now. Dear children, you are supposed to complete question number 1 and question number 2 of exercise 14.1 in your homework notebook. Simply, you are supposed to find the common factors of the terms which is given to you. So you will be able to do, like I have shown you the example of 5xy, 10xy, that can be written as 10xy can be written as 5 into 2 into x into y. Likewise, question number 1 is based on this. You are supposed to write the factors or take out the common factors. And question number 2, you are supposed to factorize the expressions. Factorize the expressions by taking out the common factor, and then what will be left inside the bracket you need to write down. So, dear children, in this lecture, we have learnt the definition of factorization. What do you mean by factorization? The process of finding 2 or more expressions whose product is the given expression is called factorization. And we have learnt two methods of finding factors. First one is factorizing by taking out common factors. You need to write or express the terms into factors and then take out the common factors. And then second method, we have learned factorizing by grouping of terms. We need to arrange the terms of the given polynomial such that each group has a common factor. We need to factorize each group and then take out the factor which is common to each group. I hope you will be able to do the questions based on the concepts taught in this lecture number 1. Thank you so much.